Well, that's one way of getting around Facebook's finicky copyright rules, is just do your own version. Anyway, hello everybody. Welcome to this pop-up live, JMQs, one or the other. I am here all by myself, which we should have used that music. We've got a couple of things to talk about tonight, but seriously, it's such a lovely evening out there. You've got better things to do than sit here and watch a confused man from Dudley talk about his favorite hobby. So we will rattle through a few things, and we'll also field your questions. But like I say, we're going to try and keep this short and sweet tonight, which means we'll probably still be talking about 8:30, but there we go. So I'm just going to say hello to everybody who's tuned in thus far. So good evening, Phil Artiste Studio, who was the first on. Russell Taylor, thank you for the photographs, Russell. Sean Smith, Dave Swindle, Jared Watkinson, literally just over the hill from me. Mark Smith, the Borough of Dudley welcomes you. I know, you can tell I'm from Dudley, can't you? Theron Hampton, Lee Suter, Philip Jones, Jim Altergott, Peter Oxley, Travis Thompson, Shane Weir, good day Shane, Dougal McWoogle, John Huston, Mark Ryan, Nick Brown, Jim Altergott, Derek Hersey, Rob Sutto, Greg Woodbridge, Kev Tinker, Simon Lewis, Vincent Murphy. Hello everybody. Right, shall we dive on with a kit that I was given this week to build for Telford? Not a new kit. In fact, it's an old kit that has come back in a new box. Now, this is Italeri Bedford QL. It's not their tooling. In fact, this kit has a rather long and interesting history. It was first released 50 years ago by a company called Peerless in Japan. Peerless Max, they were Peerless or Max, they were known as. Some of you may have come across this kit in the mid to late 1970s when Airfix reboxed it. And I wonder how many people at the time, not unfamiliar with the Peerless Max kits, knew that this was not Airfix tooling. I certainly didn't. It's interesting. Perhaps I'll talk about this another time, but it's how Airfix had gone into large-scale armor in the mid-1970s with their Crusader in 32nd scale. 35th overtook them, and so within a couple of years they were desperately trying to play catch up and releasing 35th scale kits, which were the Max kits that they polybagged. Anyway, shall we open up the box? I genuinely have not opened any of the bags in this thing, so this is this is an unboxing in the strictest sense of the phrase. Just looking for me scissors. What have I done with me scissors? Good start to the show. There they are. So let's get this. That's better. It's compact, isn't it? Like I say, this kit is 50 years old this year. Goodness me. So, what have we got here? Let's open this up. I will say from the outset, this kit does not contain the 6-pounder gun, which it used to have. You can see it there on the box art, and also with the Airfix boxing. There have been issues of this kit by Italeri where it didn't have the 6-pounder, but then it was reboxed by Revell, and I think the last time it was produced by Italeri about 15 years ago, it had the 6-pounder. We asked about this, and the feeling is it could be a tooling issue. So, yeah. So we will open these bags up. What do you do on Sunday night? Watch the confused man from Dudley open plastic bags live on the internet. Was it the Interesting Modelling Company? It was, yes, yes. Did you have a t-shirt on that said Incroyable? I did, yeah. So, oh, there we go. We've got a little bag there that's got the clear parts of the windscreen. I know you're thinking, why didn't you do this before we started the show? I wanted you to know that this is a genuine unboxing. So, there we go. Here are all lace sprues. So what have we got here? We have got bits for the cab and the engine, and we've got the dashboard and some of the drivetrain there. And I'm just going to zoom in a second here so you can see. Actually, the detail is, for a 50-year-old kit, the detail is not too bad. It's a little bit of mold wear in places, which is not to be not surprising. But actually, oops-a-daisy, there we go. I actually think this looks really sharp. Nice little detail down there. See the saw? Yeah, like this. So what have we got there? We've got a Bren gun and we've got some Lee Enfield rifles as well. Right, and we got the exhaust there. So let's have a look. What have we got here? Wheels within wheels in a spiral array. Got the suspension, leaf suspension there. Let's just zoom out a bit. Yeah, I'm never a big fan of axles being molded in two halves, but I don't know what the solution is. So it's just a case of sanding seams, really. If only there was some kind of seam scraping tool that would help me. And I would just zoom in onto the wheels here, the tires rather, and there is, don't know if you can see that, there is some rather neat molded Dunlop logos on there. So far so good. Then we've got the flatbed and part of the construction for that. Then we have the cab and the chassis there as well. And then we just have details, really. Ammo boxes, part of the hoops for the tarp and everything. Like I say, for a 50-year-old kit, this is surprisingly good. But as you can see, there is a little bit of flash in places, and there are lots of little mold runoffs here just to keep everything working. But no, that's not a complaint. That is an observation. And then we have the instruction sheet, which is in Italeri's usual style. So you get the sprue chart there, including bits that you don't use, which presumably are for the extant 6-pounder. And then we start off with construction with the chassis, which I don't think that's going to take that long, to be honest with you. And then through to the cab. Then the flatbed. And then we race ahead. Oh, there we go. We've got, yes, you see, that's the ramp, but to wheel the 6-pounder down. So, and also, rather interestingly, you've still got, I think these are blast screens for the 6-pounder as well. So they're still in the kit. I'm sure somebody more knowledgeable can help us out with that. Anyway, what color schemes have we got? We've got one in overall flat sand, which I'm assuming is going to be kind of like Portland stone or something similar. Then we've got one in Mickey Mouse scheme, which that's probably the one I'll go for. It just adds a bit of variety to the kit. And then we have another one, that's 7th Armored Division, 20, what's that? Let's have a look. Blah, blah, blah. 1st Armored Division, Anti-Tank Regiment, Egypt 1942. 7th Armored Division, Anti-Tank Regiment, 4th Battery, Egypt 1942. And then 22nd Armored Brigade, 7th Armored Division, El Alamein, late 1942. So, yeah, we're going to go for that one, I think. So let's have a quick look at the decal sheet, which being Zanchetti. Oh, it's cartograph. There we go. It's absolutely beautiful. Yeah, that you can always guarantee Italeri will have top quality printed decals, and there we go. That's very nicely done. So let's pack this all away again, shall we? So yeah, that's got to be built for Scale Model World in November, straight from the box as well. I did have some helpful suggestions about changing the wheels and things. Got to be built straight from the box, everybody. So that is not a problem. Goodness me, Scale already planning Scale Model World. The year is disappearing, isn't it? Let's have a read of some comments. Jim says, I have a peerless kit of a German tractor, the Steyr RSO /01. I've built that one as an Italeri kit, wibbly wobbly effect, 30 years ago, 33 years ago, 34 years ago. Very nice kit, actually. In fact, I've got a couple of boxings up in the attic. I've also got the I was going to say Ryfield. I'm trying to think who does the 35th scale Steyr. It's a brand new one. So I'm just googling it, folks. Somebody will help me out here. Steyr RSO. Let's have a look. Should never have gone down that rabbit hole. Das Werk, of course it is Das Werk. So I think that's a reboxing of the Dragon one. So yeah, lovely kit, that Italeri Steyr. Philip Jones says, for a 50-year-old kit, just a little younger than the median age of our viewers, not too bad. And unlike some more modern kits, there are numbers on each side of the sprue. I didn't notice that. That's interesting. No, there's only numbers on one side of the sprue. Let's just check another one. Nope. Numbers. There are numbers on each items of the sprue. I thought you said each side of the sprue. Been a long day, folks. It's been a long day, and I've been out in the sun doing some gardening and stuff. So Peter Arthur says, greetings from Norfolk Island. And David Mummery says, greetings from a knackered man after 2 days at the Duxford D-Day 80th Air Shows. Yeah, I imagine it was probably a bit warm there today, David. And just having a look. Yeah, Jim says, I think Dragon produced one too. They did do a Steyr RSO, and that's the one that has been reboxed by Das Werk. So, right, shall we now do a quick update on where I am with my P34, seeing as we are a month or so into the P34 challenge? Well, I've actually started getting some paint on my model, only small bits, but it's a step forward nonetheless. So, ta-da, there we go. That's the box of delights there. Now, last night I was listening to the opera on Radio 3 last night, so I can blame that for wandering concentration, but getting this engine together last night was a most un-Tamiya like experience. It just so finickety. But we got there in the end. Learned some new words last night, but we've got all the piping in place there. That probably needs gluing, but never mind. Yeah, so that is. I'm just going to have a quick look at the instructions to see what's next on the list for that. Oh, we add some of the bars to the front of it. Now, I'm not going to do that live, given the problems I had last night. Honestly, I glued this transmission housing in place, and I glued it in upside down, and then I had to pry it all apart, and then had another go and got it in the right way. But then when I looked at it from a plan view and looked at it from a front view, it was all out of kilter, so I had to pry it apart again. Talk about lose the will to live. But we got there in the end. So there's a little bit of paint touching up to do on this. I've just noticed that I've dinged my matte black areas there, but never mind. So what else have we got in the box of delights here? We have, oops, come in. We have primed the cockpit cover just to get a nice smooth, get rid of that seam there. So, and you can see on the inside that little trick I did, which was to flood it with super glue, then use some of my liquid gravity to reinforce the seam from the inside. Thankfully, none of that is visible from the outside on the finished model. And what else have we done? We've also primed the seat pan as well, so that's fine. And what have we got there? There is the body. I'm not bothering with any of this because it's going to be on the underside and nobody's going to see it. So I know that's probably shocking to some car modelers out there, but I'm just being pragmatic. So, yep, we're going to have to do a bit of internal painting there because I think the cockpit of that is aluminium, but we'll come to that. What I will probably do is get the blue down first of all, and then just go in there and start doing the detail painting. But it's a learning curve because I really don't build Formula One cars. I haven't built a Formula One car ever. So, and what have we got there? We've got the wheel hubs have been painted semi-gloss black. I use the Tamiya lacquer semi-gloss black for that. We've also been at the tires with our Infinity. They've all got Infinity. We've been at the tires with the Infinity sanding sponges to get rid of those seam lines. Yes, the other thing I've got to do is paint the Goodyear logo on this. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm going to be picking everybody's brains to find out how they did it. But yep. And that's pretty much where we are. There's everything else is in storage boxes at the moment because of me trying to be methodical. So we are making progress. We've got until the autumn to get this finished, but let's play catch up with the comments. Rally Chef's Model Shed says, evening everyone, just back from a jaunt to a Northern Model Show. Great day out. I'm just having a look. Nick Brown says, loving the P34 build so far. Exhausts were hard work, however. Yeah, they, again, a most un-Tamiya like construction is so loose and floaty, and you've got to eyeball to get everything pretty much in the right position. You can use the engine as a kind of jig, but you know these days Tamiya would come up with some kind of ingenious method of doing that. But no, this is nearly 50 years ago, this. So And Mike says, question, is the plastic for the P34 a bit softer than usual for Tamiya, or am I mistaken? You're not mistaken, because I found that on some of the parts. The blue, the actual blue body, I thought was nice and tough. But some of the other sprues, it was a little bit soapy. I don't know what the answer to that is, other than it might be something to do with a requirement of the tooling, or no. But you're not alone there, Mike, because I did find that. And Martin Peter Ward says, got to love a 6-wheeled racing car. Yeah, as a kid, I remember seeing photographs of it in magazines and just thinking, wow, that looks amazing. But we do have another P34 to talk about tonight. Bear with. Yeah, Russell says the Fujimi exhausts were a doddle to put together. So bear with me a sec, folks, because I'm just going to launch myself to the other side of the workshop here and grab something else. So we'll be back in a second. We're back. This was kindly gifted to me by Mike and Penn Richardson. Oh my goodness me, it's a Matchbox 32nd scale Tyrrell P34/2. Right, brace yourselves, folks. You know what a Matchbox fanboy I am. I have never built any of their car kits. Not only have I never built any of their car kits, I've never owned any of them. Never got round to, never did. I don't know why. Well, probably cost and everything. But so here we have my first Matchbox 32nd scale car kit in 2024, and it's a 6-wheel Tyrrell. And it's in the later two-tone scheme, which is going to be interesting because obviously I'm building my Tamiya one in the overall blue. So yeah, this will be interesting. Whether I can do this as part of the challenge, we will wait and see. But so we've got some chrome parts here, which are very shiny. They'll go straight into a thing of bleach, because this chrome is impervious to glue. So yeah, that's got to go. But that's fine. We'll just drop it into a plastic container with some household bleach in there. Might even do that live just to show how easy it is. So anyway, there we go. So that's your chrome bits. Then you've got some dark sea grey almost coloured parts for the suspension and the exhaust. Be interesting to see how they do the exhaust. We'll look at the instruction sheet in a second, and the body pan and the radiator and some of the engine. And then we've got pale blue for the bodywork and yeah, other bits and pieces. So it's also interesting that Matchbox molded their body shell enclosed. So the Tamiya one is separate pieces. So very interesting modeling company. There we go. So let's have a look at the instructions. Get them the right way around, JM. Engine, that's nice and simple. So let's cut ahead to the right. How did Matchbox tackle the exhausts? There is your answer down there. They molded them in two pieces that you just glue the two sides together. I'm just having a look to see if I can find them on the sprue. There they are. What an ingenious solution. That does make life easier, doesn't it? So there we go. We've got the engine pots there. Very familiar with those. Bum, bum, bum. And just the single scheme for the, I believe that's the 1977. That's a quick look. No, it doesn't tell you. I'm sure it's the 1977 scheme. Oh, it's nice. It's nice looking at Matchbox stuff again. I haven't built a Matchbox kit, a Matchbox kit for years. What was the last one? No, that's tell a lie. I did build the TF104 for Spencer's Starfighter book, so that was a Matchbox boxing. But oh, and the decals. We've got vinyl tires here, which, goodness me, they do actually have logos molded on them. I don't think this bag is original. Oh, also, whoops daisy, a big shout out to Mike and Pen Richardson, who got this for me. Very kind of them. Yeah, there we go. Well, there are actually Goodyear logos molded on them, and these they are vinyl, but they're a very tough vinyl. And they're a very tough vinyl without any mold seam lines on them. So, interesting. So, let's have a look at the decal sheet, which, given the age of the kit, isn't too bad. Hasn't gone moldy or anything. Those are usable. We'll find a way of getting them to work. But yeah, they're usable. The whites, actually, the whites aren't too bad. Sometimes the whites on decals will yellow over time, but oh, they're usable. So, a big shout out to Mike and Pen Richardson for that one. My first Matchbox car kit in the history of me making Matchbox kits down the over the last 50 years. So I'll just try and get everything back in the box now. How have I never built a Matchbox car kit? I don't understand that. But having said that, though, I've never built any of their ship kits either. I've got a couple of them in the collection, but never got round to building any of their ship kits. Although I do have the 72nd scale Corvette that I bought for my late father. Goodness me, when was that? 30 odd years ago, which I ended up building some of it for him. It's still up in the attic, actually, and I've got another copy which Mike Reeves in America kindly sent to me. So thank you for that, Michael. That was very, very kind of you. Comments. Dave Swindle says yes, 77 scheme. Russell Taylor says Revell Special Cement 39606 is supposed to be formulated to glue chrome parts. Oh, look that up, Russell. Interesting. And Jim Aldcott says, I believe you built-in started a Matchbox Hellcat last year. I did. I'm looking at it. It's over there on the shelf, and that was also going to be for one of Spencer's books, but it wasn't required in the end. But yeah, it's sat there glaring at me. Yeah, I might source some decals and actually finish that one off, I think, because I do like a Matchbox kit. And Jared says, haven't finished a Matchbox kit, you mean? Same here. Still have my Matchbox made build to finish. Let's have a quick look down. Phil RT Studio says, might have seen the P34 on a kids' TV show, ABC's Wide World of Sport in the 1970s. It jarred my memory when you first presented it. And Peter Oxley, Matchbox exclamation mark, happy faces. Yeah, absolutely. Same here. And oh, Dave says, Rob Sutto, Identicals do tire decals for the... Oh, they do tire decals. Look them up after at the end of the show. So there we go. What are we up to? 2003. Would you like one more thing to talk about tonight, and then we'll wrap up? Yep. Or we can just do some questions and answers. No, we'll do one more. And this, talking of Tyrrells, oh, can't even fit this, can't fit it onto the screen. Yes, we can. This is quite special for me because this is a commission, and this is Russell Rowe at Jadlam, just over the hill there in Glastonbury. He's asked me to build for him the Tamiya Tyrrell 003 1971 Monaco GP car. Yes, I do know it's only got 4 wheels. Oh my goodness me, look at that. What a car. Having never built a Formula One car before, so my 1/20th scale Tamiya P34 will be my first. We're jumping into the deep end here, so I'm not going to get everything out of the bags, but we'll just have a quick look and see what's involved. Photo etch. So let's just pump that down on the floor. First up, we've got parts of the body shell. I think we can zoom a bit now. We've got parts of the body shell. Oh yes, I'm liking this. What year was that? 75. Goodness me, that's nearly 50 years as well. So it's amazing how some of these Tamiya kits age quite nicely. We've got loads of chrome, so again that'll be into the bleach. I know I could use a specialist glue to actually use these parts, but I just find them a bit too garish. Anyway, so yeah, we got chromey bits there. Then we've got more parts for the body shell there. So we've actually got the cockpit pan. We've got clear parts there for the windscreen. This won't be part of the P34 challenge because it's not a P34, but this will be built for Russell, and hopefully I can deliver it to him round about December, so that he can have it on his office, on his desk. So, and then we have black parts for the wheel hubs and part of, I presume that's the cockpit and the exhausts. Then we have, whoops-a-daisy, then we have a silver and black sprue for the engine. Oh, honestly, my mind is racing here because, like I say, having got partway through that P34, I just love the challenge. I genuinely do. And then we've got the sheet of photo etch bits and bobs. And then we have the decal sheet. Oh, and they also include what appears to be, I can't see if that's a special material. Yes, it is. It's a special material to make the seat belts. So there are your elf decals there, beautifully printed by Cartograph. There we go. And we'll just whiz through the instructions briefly. so I can get a sense of just how terrifyingly different this is going to be for me. Actually, the first thing I'm thinking is how a lot of this can be put together as sub-assemblies. Then we've got an actual coil spring there for the suspension. Again, this very much reminds me of my late Uncle Roger. He was a massive car fan, and I can still see him at my grandparents' building these super impossibly expensive cars that I wish I could build. And he would have loved something like this. In fact, at some stage, I really do need to build a dragster, especially as this year is the 10th anniversary of his passing. So, yep, I need to get hold of a Revell dragster or something. So, yep, we've got lots of piping here, jolly good. Oh, building the harness up on separate photo etch bits there. I know Drew would love that. It's nothing here that frankly terrifies me. It's just different, and yeah. Only thing that terrifies me is the finish, but I will be blasting that with some Tamiya lacquer paint. So, and I should be picking Ian's brains for getting the best way, the best method of doing that. But we've got Trizac. There's nothing to be scared of, folks. So, like I say, that is a commission to deliver to Russ in Jadlam, just over the hill in Glastonbury. So, blah, blah, blah. Russell Taylor says Atlantis Models has reissued a bunch of dragster kits. They have. And I was looking at them the other day. And yes, it's on the list. It's yes. Christopher Joseph Buchholz says, mind racing puns, eh? Are you trying to make me not watch? Chris has how can I put this without insulting him? He has a unique sense of humor. He's a bit like me, poor lad. And Andy King said, evening all, looking in while on a tea break. That's a very good idea, actually, because I could do with a cup of tea. So, and Jeff late to the party Baker says, what about the Bedford QL Porty without the gun Andy asked you to build? Already covered that, Jeff. And it's I'm building it straight from the box for the hobby company. I'm not going to worry about the fact it doesn't have a gun. So make of that what you will. Apparently the tooling for the gun is a bit shot now. So and Mike Williams says 1/12 is a scary scale for F1, but they're great fun. And again, Mike is a great inspiration because Mike dives into different subject matter fearlessly. I think him and Ethan do. They're just absolutely brilliant modelers, and they're really inspiring. So thank you, chaps. And Jeff says, with regard to a £6 gun, do I want one? No, Jeff, because I've got to build this straight from the box. It's for the hobby company. So very kind offer. Thank you very much. Let's just have a quick whiz through. I'm just having a quick look through. No, I think that's pretty much it, really, folks. We're going to keep it nice and short tonight. Unless anybody's got any more questions, we will wrap it up at this stage. Looking forward to getting on with some modeling this week. It's I'm if you'll pardon the pun, I'm in the process of remodeling my workshop because having been in here now for 15 years, can't believe it. I'm shocked at that. 15 years. Yeah, so it does need a little bit of a few tweaks here and there, simply because when I started out, I had one little shelf here, which held my entire paint collection. In the last 15 years, we've acquired more paint, as you can see. Yeah, anyway. Yeah, so could do with replacing some of the flooring in here, just bits and pieces, just more shelving, more shelving. But anyway, that's it for tonight, folks. You go and enjoy your Sunday evening, because it's I'm just looking out the window here. It's absolutely glorious night here in the north of Somerset, and it's dry, which is, well, it's nice because it means which means I'm not having to worry about slugs and snails eating all my plants. Also, I'm just going to bore you with some gardening stuff, by the way. This is something I've been working on for the last. Jared says, "Pub then." Cheers, JM. Yeah, well, I've got another show to do. This is something I've been working on, a little bit of garden modeling this, but that is, I've got a rambling rose and I've also got a lilac tree, and I've been trying to get them to meet for the last few years or so. Finally, over the last couple of years, they started to intertwine, which has left me with this glorious little arch on the underside leading down, because I got three levels to the garden. So I've got the patio, then I've got the pond level, then I've got the lower garden level. I know it sounds very posh, but yeah, so there we go. That's a little bit of garden modeling I've been doing, is encouraging the rambling rose to intertwine with the lilac tree, and that's the result. Doesn't that look fabulous, everybody? So anyway, there we go. Boring gardening stuff. Right, I'll leave you to it. Hopefully we'll have some of the other crew back for another show in a week's time. Until then, everybody, enjoy your week. Stay safe, stay out of trouble, and we'll see you. Well, I might do a pop-up live in between, but hopefully we'll see you in a week's time as well. So until then, see you then. Bye then.